and I wanted to run this theory by you. I call it the puppet theater, right? So imagine like you have this puppet show, right? And I don't know, maybe you're a puppet in the puppet show, but you don't realize it. But you see two puppets that are moving synchronously, like some kind of they're in synchronicity, right? So like your assumption would be that, you know, within the theater, it doesn't seem like how could their efforts be coordinated, right? How could they be moving in coordination, because there's no information being passed between them. So there must be a hand above that is controlling both, right? That's either controlling both or passing information between the two. There has to be, outside of this box, there has to be information that's being passed between the two. And that is synchronicity. And that's what, you know, and so what I started to think about that event in Boise, where I met that my friend I knew was going to happen, is like I got some outside information that came into my mind, and the whole purpose of it, and I started to think about all these events that are happening. Maybe the whole purpose of everything that's happening, all these synchronicities, is not for any specific thing to happen within this puppet theater, but just for me to realize that it is a puppet theater and that I need to get out of it.
Yeah.
And so when I woke up from that nap, I had this really strange, like, you know, and I wasn't on anything, but I felt this really strange need to get out of the puppet theater, to find the way. And I feel like there's a thread. It
Yeah.
sounds really weird. Like there's a thread, there's a string, and it's a thin string. But I feel like if that string is connected and holding me in, then I can climb up that string and get out.
Yeah.
And I know that seems really weird, but yeah, you know, it's like all these things seem to be pointing to that direction. And I feel like, I almost feel like this. I feel like if you can realize the entire truth of the situation, that you will be transported outside of that. But well, and when I say that to leave the puppet theater, I don't think you need to go anywhere to leave it. So the other thing I was thinking about along the same lines is, you know, so right now, like if you focus on feeling your toe, your big toe, you can feel your big toe, but you aren't your big toe, right?
Right.
But maybe we're in this state where we think we're our big toe. You see what I'm saying? Like
Yes.
we're, because
Yes.
we, like if you stub your big toe, you will feel your consciousness be in your big toe,
Right.
because that's where you'll be focusing. And so if you only had ever had your consciousness in your big toe, you would think that you are your big toe. But the key is, how do you not move outside of the puppet theater, but how do you instead move your consciousness, your feeling of consciousness, to be in the puppet theater, but also outside of it, so that you never have to leave. You see what I'm saying? Like you're leaving it in the sense that you're, it's not that you're leaving, it's that you're moving where your consciousness is, where you're feeling your consciousness from one place that doesn't really exist, this fake world, to the real place that it is. And I believe that the way to do that is just by, I believe that all these synchronicities, all these things that are happening, are just to make you realize that you're not actually really here. If that, I don't know, it
Yeah.
might sound a little crazy, but that's what I've been thinking about.
No, dude, like you don't understand what an incredible analogy that is. It's perfection. It's incredible. So yeah, you realize that there has to be something connecting all the puppets, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can call this giant synchronicity, or this infinite intelligence, or God. I mean, everyone can use a different word, but it's all the same thing. It's this infinite intelligence which is connecting everything. It's what everything is at its core.
Right.
And yeah, that's a perfect way to describe awakening, is to, you think that you are the puppet, but you're not the puppet. You're the controller of the strings, right?
Right.
You're the
Right.
entire show. And you've just forgotten, you got so immersed. Imagine like it's this incredible video game, right? And for a second, you forget that you're the player behind the video game. Like you're actually, boom, you're like in the game. And so it's like this puppet master that got so immersed in the game, made himself forget that he's the puppet master, and just became the puppet, right? And so then, of course, when you're going in the puppet show, some stuff will start to happen that's like, whoa, no, I can't be just the puppet, right? And this is these like synchronicity events. And Yeah, like it's such a perfect analogy. There is a thread, right? Like in the puppet show, it's a
Yeah,
literal physical thread. In reality, I would say it's tuning into a certain frequency, right? It's disidentifying with the body and actually like becoming the quantum field. Like that's what we'll kind of realize. That's what Joe Dispenza talks about.
hmm
And that's kind
hmm
of the scientific bridge, is that the quantum field is a place of wave patterns, right? Probability schemes.
exactly. Yeah,
And it's a place of no time, no place, right? And you actually are this quantum field, and you can actually tune into it by essentially, I mean, just getting deep, deep, deep within the present moment, because that's where it exists, right? And yeah, essentially, what happens if you're this puppet, right? And you have all these puppet thoughts, that's all you have all day are these puppet thoughts, okay? You're going to continue being this puppet. So,
right.
how do you realize that you're not just the puppet and you're the entire show? Well, you have to stop having just these puppet thoughts. But that's the thing, you can't just, you don't even know what else there is. So how do you break this pattern, right, of constantly thinking puppet thoughts, feeling puppet things? Well,
hmm
you have to dive down deep into the present moment, shut off this default mode network. The default mode network is the physiological ego. It's the neural connections that make you think you are this puppet. So you have to turn that off, get deep into the present moment, be very, very, very aware. And then you have more access to your puppet like subconscious, right? So then all this information of what is really going on starts flowing in, right? And it's not even that you have to be in this deep meditative state to realize this. I mean, you're just being more aware of everything. I mean, that's what's increasing, is just your awareness of what's going on. So if
Exactly.
you're this puppet
Yeah.
in the puppet show, the only way to forget that you're actually the puppet master is to completely be unconscious to that reality and just focus on only puppet things. But when you really start to be aware of everything, really, really focusing your awareness, you'll get to kind of understand what it is. And so it's like so simple, not easy, but simple, to wake up and realize that you're the puppet master, that you're God, that you're this infinite intelligence. You just need to be aware, right, of everything, aware of your thoughts, aware of the external world. Just increase your awareness, and that's it. I mean, how do you wake up from a dream? It's so incredibly simple, yet not easy. Wake up like to the dream, as in know that you're dreaming, right? How do you
Right.
lucid dream? Well, it's just all of a sudden you just become aware. Like it's so simple, yet usually it takes a long time and a lot of practice and a lot of different synchronicities and stuff like that. But yeah, you'll find it's like reality starts out seeming like this random collage, just this random mess, right? And then gradually things start seeming way less random and like a beautifully intelligent, fabricated story, right?
Right.
And so you start realizing, whoa, this can't just be some random mess. That's the paradigm that most people have, that it's, dumb matter evolved into smart matter, gave rise to consciousness. All of this is just a random generation of some dumb universe, right?
Right.
No.
Right.
Like if you pay attention enough, you realize that, whoa, everything is happening for a very specific reason. For me now, it's so interesting. I mean, like you'll some things will happen in life and you'll be like, even now, and you'll be like, well, nothing really happened from it. But no. Just thoughts have such a profound effect on our reality. You just going through that experience has some sort of effect. I've gotten so aware of this.
Yep.
It's crazy. Like every time I come up with even the most subtle idea, I'm like, oh, like I can tell what a big ripple effect it's going to have in the future. Just the tiniest idea from a YouTube video or something like that. And I actually remember the place and time now of when that happened. And I'm like, whoa, if this one thought came to my mind, and if this one thought didn't come to my mind, the whole universe would be dramatically different for me.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I realized this one thought in part was stimulated by the music I was listening to, what I was observing, just the present moment of that in that particular time and space that I was experiencing. Maybe I'm at Zilker Park meditating and I see a dog run by, and then all of a sudden a thought comes into my head that I can see months down the road is going to make a profound impact in my future. And it's like, it just seems, you start realizing the incredible intricacy of the universe and how everything is so dramatically connected. Literally, if that dog wouldn't have walked past, I wouldn't have had this idea and created this YouTube video, and then the audience wouldn't have had this reaction, caused me to have other thoughts and emotions that caused this other chain of events. It's this perfect, intricate connection of literally everything. People don't understand how literally every single thing is connected. Every molecule of air is
Right.
affecting something, right? And so everything has a very specific purpose. And the cool, liberating thing about that is once you realize this, shame, guilt, regret, they're all out the window, because you know
Exactly.
that you're not this avatar that is just being moved around by the universe. You actually are the universe that's moving around this avatar, right? And so, yeah, it's a beautiful thing.